So hey guys, back with another video. Today we'll be doing what if Deku had Scarlet Witch's powers. So I think I left off at where Deku got his drip, and if you don't know where Deku got his drip, go back to the last one. He didn't get clothes drip, but if you watch the video, you know what drip he got. So let's start back home now. Mina, which is Mina. I'll describe her again because she doesn't look the same way she is Karen, but she technically just looks like 02, but has a more pinker skin. But like, yeah. But she has her hair in a ponytail and not straight like 02 has hers. She has a ponytail like seriously. Like if go and watch the fan fiction, like where's 02, I mean fan art, where 02 has a ponytail, basically that, but I just don't feel like going on it and looking for it. So yeah. And Uraraka has her hair, she has the back of her hair is in braid, so she grew out her hair so it was down to her back and then she braided it. So she has 2 bangs on each side of her head and the rest of her hair is braided. So, 1 braid by the way, so, yeah. Then there's May, and May just has straight short hair that ends at her neck. She has straight short hair. Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, so Deku is in school, but you'll figure out what I'm doing soon. Deku is in school and he's just there writing down, and the teacher keeps calling Deku and Deku just doesn't answer, and Bakugo just says Deku is not actually there, he's on the roof. And the teacher looks at him like, the fuck nigga? What the fuck? Are you blind? And then Deku gets up and then punches Deku. But his arm goes through Deku. And then a red aura just starts shining around Deku, and you can see he becomes like see-through. And everybody's like, what the fuck? And then Bakugo says he's a hologram of himself. And then the teacher goes up to his desk and takes out his paper and sees his paper is already done. He's just been pretending like he's been writing things. And then the teacher asks Bakugo where Deku actually is, and Bakugo says on the roof. Hold on. Okay. I'll be back now. I probably annoyed some people, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. So Bakugo says that Deku's on the roof, and well, no, I have to do a Bakugo voice. That nerd is on the roof. I can never do that shit again. He just says that Deku's on the roof, and one girl just instantly gets so and just like, he's a random character by the way. No, I'll go for him. No, he just says it's okay. No, I'll go for him, and then she just runs out, darts out the classroom because. Have you seen the picture? The fuck? Look at Deku, bitch. Who wouldn't want to go up there? No homo. Pause. Anyways, she runs up there and she goes to Midoriya and she says, "Hi, Midoriya-san," or Midoriya-kun. Anyways, she says that, and Deku says that the teacher wants you, and Deku says, he find out, didn't he? And he picks her up by the style and floats to his classroom window, and people just see him floating there and just say, sorry teach, I just didn't want to be in class today. And he flies back and puts the girl down and just goes back to his seat. And the teacher said it was okay because he finished his paper and he's already done. That's the rest of the work for the day, so you can technically just go home. And Deku says, I bet, and grabs his bag, and Bakugo is finished too, and Bakugo leaves with Deku. Now, let's talk about Deku and Bakugo's relationship because I didn't really touch on it too much, but I'll touch on it. Well, Bakugo and Deku are not friends. Like Bakugo will still try to kill Deku at times. Look, I'm not gonna cap, but they Bakugo knows that he's the only person that truly knows Deku's power and who truly understands Deku. So they're not friends, but they're really close. But they're not friends. Anyways, so Bakugo tells him, "You need to stop doing it, damn nerd." And Deku says, "You need to stop being an asshole." And he just starts flowing, opens a red portal and goes through it. "Damn nerd," Bakugo says, and Bakugo just walks home. Deku appears into his mansion or house, whatever you want to say it is, and appears between, well, they wouldn't be home yet, actually, so. How? He appears in the living room. Deku put down his bag and just sits on the floor and starts deciding to design his hero suit because he has nothing to do. Hold on for that. I'm outside. Anyways, Deku just goes and starts designing his hero suit. Deku decides he wants a red leather jacket. A red leather jacket with silver lines on the end of his sleeves, and a mask, just like the mask he had in canon, so it's not different. Because there's a very big downfall in Deku's power. Well, Deku is strong, and he is the strongest person on Earth currently. And people sleep on Scarlet Witch though. Like Loki, Scarlet Witch is powerful as fuck in the comics. This bitch killed the whole of Avengers. The whole Avengers before. I just rebought them back to the living. After she realized what she did. So she is powerful. But Deku is limited to certain stuff right now because although he's the most powerful person on the world, there's one slightly problem with his power. You see, if Deku's power was to be stolen or copied, the person that would use his power would go insane instantly because all the power, all the process, everything, and there's a reason why Deku is always calm and kind of emotionless, mainly because his brain has the capacity to handle his quirk, but the rest of the humans doesn't. And Deku's quirk is so strong that no other quirk would work against it. He could hold punches from All Might by levitating it in the air and just leaving it there, and making a barrier so the wind pressure would not hit him. He is this strong, and there's no person on Earth that can beat him at this point. But Deku does have a problem. If his emotions in some way is influenced, he is fucked because he cannot control his powers, and that means bye-bye universe, including him. So that's why he tends to not be. His common enemy is people with emotion striking quirks. So you see people like, who his name is, side character dude with purple gear that can control people. Him, yeah, that's Deku's common enemy. Like, eventually he could do it. Eventually he could power through it and regain consciousness, but it will take a long time. Not long, but it will take a decent amount of time, because even if he is mind controlled, he will not do as the person says. His power will just run rampant, because you see, Deku's all the time is holding back a portion of his power every single day. Every day since he got his quirk, and he noticed this. So He knows that. So if someone invades his mind and he doesn't do anything, his powers goes loose, and bye bye world. So Deku is this is a very big dilemma for him. That's why he has the mask. So people have any types of mist or anger inducing mist or anything of the sort cannot affect him, because he's really scared of that in particular, because he does not like people getting in his mind, and it's the best place. Deku on the outside is normal. Well, normal as normal as he can get, because he's hot. No homo. So yeah, he's always has a blank face, so you can't really read him at all. So yeah. So on the outside he looks like that, but on the inside there's tons of billions thoughts running through his mind at all times. So that's why his brain capacity is always like that. So Deku starts designing his costume. He says he wants a black leather jacket, a red leather jacket with silver pieces on each end of his sleeves, and a silver piece on his collar. And he wants a black undershirt, which he would open a jacket and his black undershirt would be there, and then you would have black pants and black boots. And black boots, yeah. So Deku would finish this and put it down, and he would go through some comics and start like doing suits for his girls. Yeah. So, well, start sketching suits for his girls. So now Mina is the first one. Well, Mina would have a suit very similar to Deku's in canon, with his gamma suit with the long gloves instead of the short ones that reach to his wrist. He has the gamma suit gloves and the shoes, but she has a black shirt, unlike the normal clothes, with blue, and so it's basically camouflage. But the camouflage is like blue and purple, but the shirt is black. So that's kind of the only changes. But she has that tiara thing with 02 to keep her horns. Yeah, the tiara thing, that. So yeah, and the suit is kind of made out of her hair, kind of. So the acid would spew out of the gloves, and she could farm it better. So now Mina has been working on her quirk, and she has developed some skills, and she has gotten to the point where she has acid whip, acid web, and acid sling. So acid web is just a sound making a web of acid. And she realized she could harden her acid to a point. So, but when someone sticks to it, they eventually start like melting. Basically, their skin starts melting because it's acid, and she's getting OP, right? And her shoes, unlike increasing her kicking power, it has tiny holes for the acid, so she can like glide, and she can glide easier. So she's basically on a skateboard every time she uses her quirk, or her boots, or her shoes. And there's things so she can use her acid all on her hand and her feet, but she can't use it on her face or anything. But but she's getting stronger, and she's even found a way to like glide on buildings to a point, but she does need to have altitude to do that. So she needs to be in the air and then drop the air onto a building and start gliding on a building. So yeah, but to if she has a mask, I don't think she would get the mask like original Canon Deku would have. So no. So then
Uraraka's suit would be in council in Deku's mind now. The Uraraka's suit would kind of look like in canon, but if the boot, with the her boots being bulky, she wouldn't do that, and she would have strings on her. She would kind of have like tiny, slim gauntlets, but they have like wires and stuff on it because she can just levitate the rocks and pull them with her, and then she could increase the heaviness of the rocks and slam it down on people. So like yeah, and she has her boots on the soles inside the boots has a very soft cushion. So even if she just loses her quirk and hits the ground, nothing will happen. And Uraraka has a kind of a utility belt with painkillers and nausea medicine and all of that because her quirk still does that, but she has a higher resistance to it. But if she loses it to way too long for at least like 2 hours, she will get nausea. So no. And she can increase the weight of something and decrease it. So if she touches a person, she can decrease their weight and increase their weight. So on her utility belt, she also has metal balls. Yeah. Pause. Or continue. So she has like these metal orbs, balls, thingies, and she can also attach them to her whips, and she can throw them. So first she would throw them, and when it hits her last finger with the altitude of the spin, she would increase the at the last second when it's about to hit the person, she would increase the density of the person. Now these metal the metal they're made of are special metal. It can hold in her quirk at the last second when she wants it to be. So when it hits the person at the last second, it would increase in weight and hit the person. So yeah. She's also learned how to fly with Deku because again, she's learned float. She's actually technically floating, but Deku had an idea for her from his grandfather, how his grandfather quirks works by ear boosters at the end of his feet. So you kind of know who Deku's grandfather is already, technically. So you technically know who his grandfather is by now. Yeah, it's not that hard to. Who else has jet boosters at the end of their feet in My Hero Academia? It's fucking Gran Torino. So yeah, that's his father. So yeah. And I'm not giving Deku one for. No, I will give him one for all eventually, but no time soon because maybe in the fight against 9. Deku is too powerful at this point, and giving him one for all could cause the planet to go kablooey at any moment. So I'm not taking that chance because even though I'm a story writer, I still have to take the common physics of how one for all works and how Scarlet Witch's powers work, which is actually called destruction power. I think it was destruction force. I don't know. Destruction magic. I don't know what her powers are called. Anyways, I have to take in consideration that her power is planetary. No, universal. Now, technically it's universal because she's destroyed multiple planets at once in the comics, not in the movies. So read up on your comics, boots, if you wanna debate me on that. So yeah, she I won't say she's Goku level planetary, but she has destroyed a few planets before, so at one time. But to be perfectly honest, it did take her a little bit of time to do so, and a lot of charging up power to do so, but she can still do it, so it still makes her planetary. About 2 days or so. So so she's Gucci, like she's Gucci. Oh, he's Gucci. So she's been taking flying lessons with Deku, and she's going. So Deku puts air propulsion on her suit, so she can technically fly with her suit. But a gust of, not a huge gust, but just enough to, cause she makes her body zero gravity, so it wasn't have any gravity, so she can like propel herself and depropel herself. I don't. What am I saying? Damn God! Okay, sorry. She is. She's becoming Iron Man basically. So she has like so tiny, not tiny, but air pressure comes out from her hands and stuff like that. So she can technically fly. So yeah. So Deku Sodaraka is she's kinda goaded too. Now let's go to Hajime. Hajime is more of the stealth type. She's even learned a technique on her own that she can completely erase her presence. And Deku got her suit, an idea for her suit from a very old old hero that she can charge a small amount of lightning on her wrist, but she needed a support tool to do this, and she had rods of the same caliber that she can shoot like lightning upon them. Yeah, and her hero name was Black Widow, and her real name was Natasha Romanoff. But this was a very long time, even before quirks were actually figured out. So people think the heroes back then, which is just like a long time ago, because the since I'm bringing Scarlet Witch in, yeah, everyone's technically mutants, but we do not care, do we? But a very old hero, she's called Natasha Romanoff, and her hero name was Black Widow, right? She could discharge small amounts of lightning. Blah 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 blah. Bada bing bada boom. So he designs her suit just like hers, and he even gave her a hero name because May is not that good at naming things. She always calls it baby number 1 and baby number 2. She's basically gonna call herself baby if she got the chance. So no. So her suit is basically Black Widow's suit in Marvel, and he does give her ideas, because I'm gonna change her quirk a little bit. Yes, I did give her like a poison, but I'm kind of changing it actually. She has a half and half quirk, one side from her parents and the other side from her other parents. So her mom had the like target thing in her eyes, the mutation, so you can like target anything. So she does still have the acid. She technically has 3 quirks, but her mom, she had a no. I need to phrase this. Her mom had a half and half quirk. She had half increased sight or target, which is her quirk, or she had target and she had acid teeth. Yeah, she had acid teeth, and May inherited acid teeth and target, where her father had electric discharge, where she could dish out small electric pulses sometimes. So yeah. She could create small electric discharges. So yeah, lightning. So she was not bad at what she did, but she was. So yeah. So yeah. So she has technically have 3 quirks, but one is a half and half, so that's actually counted as 1 3. Which no, all of her quirks are half and half. Anyways, I don't care. Racking my brain about it is not gonna help this story at all. So Deku goes. So she gets a Black Widow suit, and she gives her the idea to later put on some lightning rods so she can channel her lightning into and beat the fuck out of people, because we all know Natasha can fuck shit up, and she's getting her own movie. So I'm definitely watching that. So bro, I was never really I'm capping, but like I never really was interested in Marvel before, because I was a DC guy, bro. I was. Oh, and little spoiler, but not spoiler, but next thing coming up is Red Hood, and I need to discuss some things. So you see that I have not even posted one Naruto what if or anything of the sort, and there's a reason for that, because I feel like I actually have a problem because I keep putting in Naruhina, and I realize it isn't a problem. So I know I'm never gonna stop it. So it's best just to stop Naruto What If for a while. And I promise you with all my heart, the first Naruto What If that I'm going back to do is the What If Naruto Was Neglected. I have not forgotten about that. I still have the script there, but I feel like I need to take a break on it because, yeah, I can understand that gets annoying after a while that I me always doing Naruhina ships, and that's kind of why I do harems. I talk about this a lot, don't I? That's why I always do harems. So when I do harems, it's just I give myself different variety and give you guys what you wanted, but also what I want, and blah blah blah, bada beat, bada bing, bada boom, right? So thank you. So yeah, hold on, guys, hold on. Fuck. Guys, as you can tell, I kind of can't pause my recording, so it's gonna take a bit, but I'm gonna come back. It's gonna take a bit though, so I'm sorry.
Included Russia, China, Syria, and Iran. And there's
Sorry guys. I digress this. So, so she has a suit like Black Widow, and that's kind of it. That Q just kind of goes in the living room, watches TV, and kind of waits. Kind of just tries to wait until they come home. So, yeah. Deku goes, he's just watching, and eventually they come home from school, and Deku says hi. But all of them kiss him, and they undress. Gets on fresh clothes, and sits down and watch TV with Deku. Since they've been training for a very long time, they don't really train. So then a few months pass, and it's the day of the UAK exams. Now, Uraraka, Mei, and Mina, Mina goes to chase the what is it again? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Damn it. The recommendation exam. So they go over to take that, but Deku decides to go and do it the normal way. So Deku goes into the school and he just sits down. He goes into the school and he just sits down on a table, just waiting until like someone comes, and he does the test and just goes to press the mic, and Deku has his head down, and Ida points this out, and Deku says he hates the light because if you watched the first one, you realize that Deku doesn't really like light because his eyes see in infrared because of his father's quirk. So his eyes always see in infrared. Instead of him getting heat breath, he can see heat instead of getting heat breath. So he can see heat. This is not any of Scarlet Witch's power. This is just Deku's quirk from his father. So not wanted to give him. So Deku just stays there and Ida says sorry, and then sits down and they go and do a whole thing. Now Deku wouldn't go over to talk to anyone because again Uraraka's not here, and Uraraka's the only person he met. So Uraraka's not there because she's in a preliminary. She's taking an other exam. So anyways, so exactly when it starts, Deku just activate his eyes because he can see in infrared, and he sees all the robots, and he just waves his hand, and all the robots in the vicinity float up in the air, and when they do, Deku just looks at them, and then it crushes his hand, and all of them turn into a ball, and then Deku explodes that ball, including the 0 pointers and every other pointers, and Deku says, "I'm out," and he just flies away. And they're like, the fuck? And Deku's definitely getting to UA. After that, bro, fuck everybody. Deku's definitely getting UA. And all the teachers saw Deku do all of this, and they were like, the fuck? Yo, he's powerful AF. Oh yeah, I know why he's so powerful. He's protagonist kun, so it makes sense. So, but in all seriousness, yeah, they acknowledge Deku as strong as fuck. And like all my what ifs, Deku's gonna be class president. Well, I only started doing it now. So like in my last video where I made the Midoriya, the Venom Midoriya, I gave him the console of the first year. Deku's gonna basically get that role. So yeah, the day comes that Deku gets his message. So does Uraraka, Mei, and Hachime. I'm gonna call her Hachime because like Mei is blind, so I'm gonna call her Hachime. So did he get their letters, their entry letters, and blah 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 blah. So they get their entry letters, and Deku just goes and takes a bath, and his uniform comes in the mail the next day, and like my other what ifs, he just has a white shirt and the green epaulets, and the dark green pants with his normal Nike shoes. So, but he's gonna wear a skin tight shirt under that. So yeah, Deku just decides to wear that, and the first day UA comes, and Deku goes to the class wearing his outfit, and he sits down on the ground, sits down on the floor. So now there was only one scholarship student, which was All Might, and everyone knows about scholarship students, but I never seen one. So to see Deku have a scholarship, whole entire scholarship to UA, and everyone seeing the clothes he's wearing, because he also has the silver pin on his tie, so they know he's a scholarship student. So like everyone's shocked. They've never seen a scholarship student in years. So it's pretty shocking to see it. So Deku, everyone technically knows who Deku is. So Deku just goes in his seat, put down his head, and catch those Z's in his supreme Louis Vuitton sleeping bag, bruh. Like you, you didn't watch the last episode, bruh. Like, the drip goes hard. So Deku's wearing that. He got the drip. He's saucy, and Exavo comes in the room, and he's like, "Damn, that nigga got some." That nigga drippy. So he's like, okay, I can respect that. He got the drip. So he got the sleeping bag. Oh god. Oh my god. Man's got the drip. So this how doesn't have any problems with Deku. He's just like, I bet. And he just sits down. It's like, I bet. And Deku sees him and he says, I bet. And Azawa says, I bet. And they both go to sleep in their sleeping bag. But Azawa kind of feel a little shame. He kind of feel a little dusty because Deku got a supreme one. He got a yellow one. It's like, okay, I feel a little broke, but I don't care. I sleep in time, anyways. So eventually the class come and they see this drippy ass nigga. God damn, that sleeping bag goes hard in the paint. Anyways, so they're like, oh god damn, man. Then Uraraka, May and not Udara, only Uraraka and Uraraka and Mina comes because May is also in the support and spy course, so she's not technically she's not a hero, but she is a hero, but she's a spy though. So yeah. So Deku, sorry guys, tomorrow I might not post. I say might, but I say might indefinitely because again, my one of my family members' birthdays tomorrow, so like kind of prioritize that. But if I get time, if I can squeeze in an hour or two into, well, of course I'm not doing 2 hours. Fuck that noise. I could squeeze in. I bet I could squeeze in a few like minutes or an hour tops. Squeeze that in. So if that ends up happening, so tomorrow might be Red Hood. I'm spoiling you guys. Now I'm just gonna explain the basis of my next what if because this what if is technically finished. I don't want to go too far in the paint, so like I probably gonna be good to do the exams. And this was originally supposed to be a short video, but something came up, so I can't like do all that. So, and it became long because I can't pause shit. So it became long. Apparently, I don't know why it came long, but it came long. So there's a long pause on this video. I'm sorry. I can't deal with it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's just a problem. You need to. They said I was gonna be back, so they said it was gonna be a little gap in time. So I'm sorry, but I couldn't help it. So. And y'all guys might say, "Oh, Mitch, you should just get a better software." But like, who got time for that? Like, this software it took me like a month to figure out how to use. So I mean everything on it, so I could edit with this one and cut it out, but what's gonna take all that time, right? Then this video would come out next week, so no. editing. So like I know that I was a YouTuber and I'm supposed to give you the best content that I can, but fuck editing, nigga. Like I'm not trying to do, I don't remember like when I was now starting like doing YouTube, and I got a message like people telling me if they want me to edit for them. And I did browse across. I browsed across it before, but you see now I'm gonna go back to that. What if I'm gonna go to that comment and I'm gonna talk to this nigga because I want to do editing, but I'm too lazy to do editing. But if a person can do editing for me, fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna free of charge too. Fuck. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back for a bit, and I'm just gonna like go. So I'll be. You'll be seeing me. You'll be seeing me. I'll be taking a dip. So I'll be taking a dip in the water. So yeah. If this goes through the way I want it to go through, you might get better editing skills. But for now, no. So thank you. So let's talk about the next what if that's gonna come up, which will be what if Deku was Red Hood, and I wanted to do what if Deku was Universe's 250 Batman, where the Batman was a speedster, and 260 Batman, where he was a kind of had bat powers. But people mistaked him for a vampire most of the time. But he had where he was actually a bat. He had bat powers. So I wanted to do both of those, but then I said I also wanted to do Red Hood. I was like, no, what? Fuck it. I'm gonna like fuse them under one, and the most popular would be Red Hood. So like about to be Red Hood, baby. So yeah. So guys, that's just the basic laydown of what it's gonna be. So get ready. So Deku gets. So Aizawa wakes up eventually and still sees Deku sleeping but he's on Uraraka. Well, Uraraka's holding his legs, and Mina has his head on his lap, and well, no, Uraraka's poking his face, trying to wake him up, but Deku's a hard sleeper. So she eventually wakes him up, and Uzawa tells him to go out to the field and put on their sports clothes, cause that's what I call it, and their sports clothes and gym outfit or whatever you want to call it. And they go into the lockers, and Deku puts on his clothes, but obviously having the long sleeves, the long skin tight sleeves exposed. But they didn't see the muscle on this nigga. Like, he naturally got muscle. He didn't have to work out or anything, but he tight. So boys are kind of questioning, like, do I like boys or girls? Like, I don't know, but no homo though. Like, I ain't trying to be sus. So they're like, they're contemplating their life choices at this point. They're like, damn, do I like boys or girls? Like, I need to like fresh up. So yeah. So Deku just goes out to the field, and Aizawa does the thing. So he told Deku he got the most scores in like forever. So he gives him the ball, and Deku just like he just levitates the ball, and it just goes out of orbit, like out of sight completely. And they're like, Deku's like Aizawa says, where did it go? And Deku says, on the moon. And he looks at his like, let's say a tracking device on it, and he looks at it, and it's like okay, that's the end of the video, guys. We'll be back.